Lucas Shifale, the Deputy Swiss Ambassador to Nigeria. Lucas.
Mostly welcome to our Water and Climate Summit. Please enjoy, and I hope we will have fruitful discussions and good presentations. Thank you.
So as is customary here, we will start with a national anthem. So please rise. Please, you may have your seat. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite for the welcome and introduction Mr. Abubakar Balarabe Mahmood, board member, Yar'Adua Foundation. He is a distinguished board member here, but also a senior advocate of Nigeria since 2001, serving as the president of the Nigerian Bar Association from 2016 to 2018. He has significantly influenced legal reforms in Nigeria. Mr. Mahmood has also contributed to public policy as the former Attorney General of Kano State and has played a crucial role in the financial sector as the first Vice President of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. He holds both a Bachelor's of Law and a Master's of Law from the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, and is known for his dedication to justice and economic development. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause.
Very good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My task is very simple: to welcome you warmly to the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center for this epoch event. I know we're expecting a lot of dignitaries, but I probably shouldn't waste too much time recognizing those dignitaries in absentia. At the appropriate time when they come in here, we will recognize them. But at the moment, perhaps it is appropriate to recognize some of our partners, especially His Excellency Mr. Nicholas Lang, Ambassador of Switzerland to Nigeria, and Mr. Shabam Chowdhury, World Bank Country Director. I hope I got the name correctly. So let me just go straight to my brief remarks, and knowing that all of you distinguished ladies and gentlemen are very warmly welcome and appreciated. So on behalf of the Board of Directors, management and staff of the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Foundation, I welcome you very warmly to the Water Summit, an exhibition jointly organized by the Embassy of Switzerland in Nigeria and with the generous support of the Ford Foundation. Water holds the key to sustainable development, essential for health, food security, and economic progress. Yet its sustainability is being threatened due to climate change. Here in Nigeria, and indeed around the globe, we face an increasingly severe crisis in water resources, exacerbated by relentless forces of climate change. This crisis threatens our socio-economic stability and environmental health, hindering our nation's development and posing serious threats to our communal harmony and national security. From the reduced rainfall in the northwest, leading to the water scarcity and often conflicts between herders and farmers, as we all know, to the drying Lake Chad in the northeast, and the encroaching desertification across the Sahel, and the salinization of fresh waters in the Niger Delta, and of course, as we've seen through the brief documentary here, the problem with erosion in the southeast. The chosen topic of this summit could not be more fitting. Overcoming these challenges will require innovative policy changes, significant investment in infrastructure and technology applications, which can be achieved through coordination and cooperation among all stakeholders in the public and private sectors, and indeed civil society. The summit aims to transform how we perceive and manage our water resources to ensure that water remains a catalyst for cooperation and peace, and not a source of conflict amongst communities and countries. Our objectives are clear: to raise awareness of our climate's impact on Nigeria's water resources and share knowledge and best practices for sustainable water and green technology solutions, and to foster robust collaboration amongst all stakeholders. Today we are joined by a diverse group of participants from government, the public sector broadly, the private sector, and civil society, including academia and international organizations. Each of you plays a crucial role in shaping the future of Nigeria's water management and climate resilience. Your expertise, experience, and commitment to change are invaluable as we chart a new course towards a more sustainable and prosperous future. The exhibition alongside the summit provides an exciting opportunity to showcase cutting-edge innovative blue technology solutions and other exemplary projects related to the theme of today's event. As we proceed with our agenda today, let us commit to actionable strategies inspired by best practices from around the globe that will address the challenges and harness the opportunities that water presents for peace, prosperity, and development. I wish to express our gratitude to the Swiss Embassy in Nigeria for the invaluable partnership which is instrumental in advancing Yar'Adua Foundation's mission on climate advocacy. I thank you all for your presence, your dedication to the cause of sustainable development, and belief in the resilient future for Nigeria and indeed the world. Let us make this summit a milestone in our collective journey towards the sustainable management of our precious water resources. Thank you and welcome.
Please, another round of applause. Next, we will have the welcome remarks, and this gathering is being co-convened with the Swiss Embassy of Switzerland in Nigeria. And so it's an honor to invite His Excellency, Mr. Nicholas Lang, Ambassador of Switzerland to Nigeria. He's the ambassador to Nigeria with a diplomatic career spanning over 3 decades. Mr. Lang has served in various key positions, including deputy head of the FDFA's Africa and Middle East Division and the ambassador at large for humanitarian law. He's also had several postings all around Africa. He has been instrumental in enhancing Swiss-Nigerian relations, focusing on bilateral cooperation in areas such as economic development, humanitarian aid, and cultural exchange. Mr. Lang studied law at the University of Bern and was admitted to the bar in 1988, bringing a wealth of legal and diplomatic expertise to his current role. Please, a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for all these kind words of introduction. Very good morning to all of you to this blessed day. It's been raining, and that must be a blessing for such a conference. I'm sure it augurs well for the coming deliberations. The Governor of Plateau State, His Excellency Mr. Caleb Mutwang, the Governor of Enugu State, His Excellency Mr. Peter Mba, represented by Deputy Governor, His Excellency Mr. Ifeyani Osai. Please bear with me if sometimes I don't pronounce the names correctly. The Honorable Minister of Water Resources, His Excellency Professor Joseph Utsef, other honorable ministers in attendance, Excellencies, heads of diplomatic missions in Nigeria, dear colleagues, the National Security Advisor, Mr. Nuhu Ribadu, represented by Ambassador Ahmed Mohammed, heads of Nigerian ministries, department, agencies, and parastatals, board member of the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Foundation, our valued partner, Mr. Abubakar Mahmoud, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Emmanuel Kuyole, Program Officer of the Ford Foundation, distinguished panelists, ladies and gentlemen. Again, a very good morning to this blessed day. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and thank you all for honoring this event with your presence and participation. It's an honor for me, on behalf of the Embassy of Switzerland in Nigeria and the Swiss-Nigerian Innovation Forum in Nigeria, to welcome you all to this Water and Climate Summit. I would especially like to thank the Shehu Yar'Adua Foundation for hosting this important event, and the Nigeria Climate Innovation Center for their excellent cooperation. My thanks also go to the various entrepreneurs who have contributed to make this event possible. Ladies and gentlemen, the timeliness of this conference, given the topicality of its central themes, water and climate, as well as their interconnectedness, is obvious. Humankind stands at a critical juncture. We are seeing it more and more clearly. Planet Earth, our planet, is in trouble. Human-induced climate change as a result of rising temperatures is causing disruptions to weather patterns, is provoking both more frequent and severe floods and droughts, provokes more persistent and extreme weather events, with the consequences of the unpredictable availability of water and the worsening of water scarcity, as well as the contamination of water supplies. Water, the most important resource for life, is under threat in many parts of the world, including Nigeria. The number of people without access to clean water has been decreasing over the last 2 decades. It's true. From 1.1 billion in 2000 to 703 million in 2022. But there are huge and growing challenges. Actually, I don't like the word challenge. Challenge always insinuates that it's just a matter of will and we will overcome. It's huge problems that are standing before us. According to the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, about 4 billion people, approximately 2/3 of the world's population, experience severe water scarcity for at least a month each year. Over 2 billion people live in countries where water supply is inadequate. Individuals and communities with inadequate access to clean drinking water are vulnerable to waterborne diseases, malnutrition, and it outright threatens their very existence. There are also dramatic economic consequences, obviously. It has been projected that some countries may lose as much as 6% of their GDP by 2050 due to water scarcity. This in turn will fuel migration, it will fuel conflicts, and it will rupture the peaceful coexistence. The consequences of these developments are indeed profound and far-reaching. They place a collective mandate on us all to find innovative solutions to generate sustainable economic growth and prosperity for all in the future. Such solutions must entail exploring new water resources, improving the efficiency of existing ones, the making available of technologies to ensure climate resilience, improved planning of water needs, the adoption of new technology for water smart solutions. They also have to include policy institutional reforms for sustainable and equitable water use. In evolving these solutions, concerted action and collaboration is needed amongst all stakeholders, science and research, the private sector, governments, international organizations, who are luckily well represented as this momentous event of today. Yes, it's true. There is a need for urgent action. Luckily, the world over, there are intelligent, brilliant minds capable of refreshing the proven ways, finding new approaches, leverage on innovation, and also of exploring creative water infrastructure financing models. There are plenty of such great minds, of course, also in Nigeria. As for Switzerland, it is important to know, and for many perhaps a surprise, that it has very limited natural resources. Water, precisely, water. Water and its harnessing started 150 years ago, and it lies at the roots of modern Switzerland and its success. Innovation, inventiveness, ingenious craftsmanship were the keys to improving our living conditions. The most beautiful watches originally were made in regions that were very poor. 100 years ago, Switzerland was a poor country. Today, it boasts the highest number of patents per capita in the world. Openness to new trends, a strong educational system open to all, strong but slim governance, and internationality favored the development of industries such as pharmaceuticals and mechanical engineering. A flourishing banking system, of course, underpinned the success of Switzerland and its industrial sophistication. The recipes of economic success are based on a stable foundation. It needs to be maintained even in these turbulent times. However, business models must constantly innovate, and they must utilize scarce resources ever more efficiently and effectively, particularly also in a circular manner. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the beginning of a challenging journey, here and the world over. I hope that today we will have an open-minded exchange of views and ideas which subsequently can be disseminated widely, and that the findings will inspire concrete steps towards securing the livelihoods of the people of this country in relation to access to water. We can learn plenty from each other through exchange and cooperation. May today's gathering contribute to it and to giving us all hope and confidence for the future. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking forward to the remarks of our eminent dignitaries and the invaluable insights that will be shared by the panelists during the day. I hope that the knowledge and insights that will be gleaned here today will subsequently be disseminated and utilized in a manner that will inform our collective quest of ensuring equitable, reliable, and safe access to water for all. I thank you very much for your valuable attention, and I wish you very fruitful deliberations. Thank you.
So, we're currently being so just to recognize that we have been joined by the Honorable Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utsev, who's just joined us now. And it's a pleasure to have his participation, and we'll be hearing from him shortly. Okay, Utsev. All right, Professor Joseph Telom Utsev. I've been corrected in how to pronounce Honorable Minister's name. Next, we would have remarks from one of our supporters and partners, and who has also generously supported the Yar'Adua Foundation's Natural Resources and Climate Advocacy program from the Ford Foundation. He's going to join us virtually from Lagos. Unfortunately, he's not able to join us physically here because he's otherwise engaged in Lagos, but he has agreed to speak to us virtually. His name is Mr. Emmanuel Kuyole. He's the Senior Program Officer from the Ford Foundation. I'm just going to introduce him very quickly. He is in charge of the Natural Resources and Climate Change program from the Ford Foundation in Lagos. Has more than 2 decades of experience in extractive governance and public policy, leading numerous national and international development projects and campaigns. His expertise includes advocating for transparent and accountable management of natural resources. He holds a Master of Science in Oil and Gas Management from Coventry University and an Executive Master's in Governance and Leadership from the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, reflecting his commitment to sustainable development and governance. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mr. Emmanuel Kuyole. Emmanuel.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. If you can hear me, Ms. Amara and Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, Honorable Minister who just walked in, Ambassador, Swiss Embassy, Nigeria, Country Director, the World Bank. Please permit me to stand on the protocol that has been established by Mr. Boubacar and to wish everybody a good morning. On behalf of the Ford Foundation, we are very pleased to be partnering the Yar'Adua Foundation and many other organizations who work is aimed at ensuring that collectively we can work to reduce inequalities and inequities on many areas, particularly with the Ford Foundation, and on this occasion, how our natural resources, which in this case includes water broadly defined, who owns, who controls, how it is governed, and to ensure that the benefits reach also particularly our communities. In light of this, the foundation has, over the years, invested quite substantial resources in looking at a particular area, and this has been around the rights of communities who live at the fringes of extraction. And this includes fossil fuel extraction, mining, oil and gas, forestry, and climate change. Because we know that, as the videos were shown, the way in which some of our extraction activities have been conducted over the years, and by the way, this is not just a Nigerian problem, it is a problem across the continent and other places outside of Africa. The way extraction has been done has had very negative impact on the environment, and particularly a safe environment for our communities. In recent times, we are also acknowledging and seeing how this effect has also really destroyed rivers, underground water systems in many parts of the country. And so we are very pleased that this conversation is happening, and we hope that Yar'Adua Foundation and many other partners will use this opportunity to begin to have a very serious conversation on how we look at how we ensure that communities and the rights of communities, and indeed the general public, because when we talk about water, it's not just about communities, it's about our very existence, because water is life. To ensure that these issues are centered on the climate conversations. Thank you very much. Lights just went off, so you should see the dark shadow. Thank you very much, and I wish you, all of us, a wonderful dedication. Thank you very much.
Well, apologies that we had to witness that energy transition. It was not a very just one, but it's an energy transition nonetheless. So it's my pleasure, I think, to recognize the Honorable Minister Minister for Water Resources and Sanitation, who's here with us today, and he's going to be giving special remarks. I'll just introduce him, and then we'll have him up on stage. Professor Joseph Telumun Usev is Nigeria's Honorable Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation. He's a distinguished professor in water resources and environmental engineering from Buruku, Benue State. He holds a bachelor's in civil engineering from the Federal University of Agriculture, Makurdi, where he graduated as the top student in 2004. After completing his national service with the Kaduna State Development and Property Company, he earned his master's and PhDs from the University of Nigeria in Nsukka in 2007 and 2011, respectively. Prof. Utsev began his academic career as a graduate assistant and rose to become a professor at the Joseph Sawan Tarka University. As director at the Center for Entrepreneurship and Development, he established workshops for students training. In 2017, he was appointed Benue State Commissioner for for Water Resources and Environment, and later served as the rector for the Federal Polytechnic, Wanune, overseeing significant infrastructure development. With over 55 journal articles and several books, Prof. Utsev is a prolific academic and an expert reviewer for numerous journals. He holds fellowships in multiple engineering institutions. In his personal life, the Honorable Minister enjoys reading, initiating new research, traveling, and playing badminton. Please, a round of applause for
His Excellency, Mr. Peter Mba, the Executive Governor of Enugu State, here represented by Mr. Ifeanyi Osai, Deputy Governor of Enugu State, the National Security Advisor, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mr. Nuhuri Bado, here represented by Ambassador Ahmed Mohamed. His Excellency, Mr. Nicholas Lang, Ambassador of Switzerland to Nigeria. His Excellency, Mr. Sunun Kronstrom, Ambassador of Denmark to Nigeria. His Excellency, Mr. Pieter Lenek, Ambassador of Belgium to Nigeria. His Excellency, Mrs. Miriam Morens Pemeron, Ambassador of Cuba to Nigeria. His Excellency, Mrs. Pascaline Gerebo Iakio, Ambassador of the Democratic Republic of Congo to Nigeria. His Excellency, Mr. Jean Francois Hasper, the Child Affairs Embassy of France. Mr. Abubakar Mahmoud, Board Member, Sheikh Musa Yar'Adua Foundation. Honorable Dayo Israel, National Youth Leader of the Great Party, National All Progressive Congress. All invited guests, the press, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are here to grace the occasion, the Water Summit and Exhibition, here holding at the Sheikh Musa Yar'Adua Center here in Abuja. And it's my pleasure to once again welcome the Water family people. Water is life. And all citizens of Nigerians and everybody around the world that is here today to grace this occasion, we are pleased with you. It's my pleasure and honor to address our esteemed stakeholders at this very important Water Summit and Exhibition holding today, 16th of May 2024, here at Sheikh Musa Yar'Adua Center, Abuja. May I use this opportunity to applaud organizers of Kedus to discuss water issues. Today, our planet is facing the most daunting challenge of climate change. Insufficient food and water scarcity, which are all threats to human survival and sustainable development, as well as the risk that our planet will experience on global food and water crisis between now and in the near future. To note that climate change is increasingly becoming a serious challenge to sustainable management of the water resources globally. Various manifestations of its impact include the increase in drought and flooding across the globe due to changes in rainfall patterns. I am glad that all the issues for discussion in this event are knowledge-based and very apt, as it will accord stakeholders in the sector the opportunity to exchange insight on very important issues beveling the country on climate-related challenges to water resources and sustainable technology solutions. The thematic areas and panel discussions, which include the blue infrastructure and financing, blue peace, and blue technology, are blueprints towards finding lasting solutions to the challenges facing the sector and advancement of mankind. May I also intimate you that the administration of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, have approved presidential priority areas for the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, which include ending poverty, economic growth and job creation, inclusivity, and security. To further align with the President Renew Hope agenda and the declaration of state of emergency on food security, the ministry has introduced strategic projects and programs that are aimed at revolutionizing Nigerians' irrigated agricultural landscape, boosting food security, and prospered economic growth. The projects and programs that the Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation have embarked on includes: 1, we have the Water for Expanded Irrigated Agriculture Program, approaches that guarantees all year-round farming, frequent cropping cycles, and higher crop yields. Under my watch, the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation has implemented specific initiatives towards addressing the issue of climate change. The initiatives are as follows. 1, we put in place the climate change information model for hydrological areas. 2, we have also embarked on water sector National Climate Resilient Management Plan. The 3rd one that we have put in place is a climate change toolkits for the water and building of climate change adaptation in the water sector. The Lake Chad from Extinction. The Nigerian government hosted the International Conference on Lake Chad in February 2018 in collaboration with Lake Chad Basin Commission and the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. The Nigerian government also championed the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Lake Chad Basin Commission and a Chinese company on the proposed interbasin water transfer project from the Congo Basin into Lake Chad, with a commitment of 1.5 million euro from the Italian government towards finalizing the feasibility study on the proposed interbasin water transfer project. We are still looking forward to other support. 3,000 hectare South Child irrigation scheme, which has become moribund following continuous drying up of Lake Chad over the years. By diverting some of the water from Howard to South Child through canals, these are the efforts that we have embarked on to achieve the water transfer. Consequently, to increase access to safe and sufficient water to meet the various needs, the ministry is currently undertaking some key projects and programs, which include: 1, we have the Partnership for Expanded Water Supply, Sanitation and Hygiene, the P-WASH program. And the overall aim of this program is to improve water supply in rural areas as well as sanitation in public places. The first phase of the program has been completed, and we are now in the second phase of its implementation. The second program is the Sustainable Urban Rural Water Sanitation and Hygiene, the SURWASH. Here, the ministry is in collaboration with the World Bank, which launched the Sustainable Urban Rural Water Sanitation and Hygiene. And the objectives of this SURWASH program is to improve urban, small towns, and rural water supply, as well as strengthen sector institutions in the participating states of this particular program. The third program that we have is the Clean Nigeria Campaign program. Under this program, the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation is working in collaboration with development partners, civil society organizations, the media, the private sector to implement the National Open Defecation Free Roadmap to end open defecation in Nigeria by the year 2025. The Clean Nigeria Use the Toilets campaign was launched in 2019 to drive the process to achieve National Open Defecation Free status by 2025 and achieve universal access to safely managed sanitation. And so far, tremendous efforts are ongoing, and sensitization programs are also ongoing. In a very few days, we will be launching the 2024 massive campaign of the Clean Nigeria Use the Toilet program, where we'll be going north and crannies of the country to put an end to open defecation in Nigeria. Let me use this occasion to thank development partners present for their sustained efforts in funding water and science and programs in Nigeria. We will continue to work closely with our partners to achieve the goal.
We're expecting some more dignitaries as well. His Excellency Barrister Ifeanyi Osai, Taimur Samad, but he's represented by Mr. Vinay Vutukuru, who is the project leader for sustainable development, Nigeria, Western and Central Africa. But I'm just going to introduce the man who he's representing, and then he can come and deliver his remarks. Mr. Taimur Samad is the